Hello Year 3. Now, today we're going to start with doing some maths learning. We're going right back to something that we did months and months ago to try and recap and refresh your memory to see how you do. So don't worry if you find this quite easy. Like I say, we have done this before. It's just to see what we can remember. So if you think it's quite easy, that's really good. It means that you've learnt it when we did it a few weeks back. And it means that you've mastered it. So fantastic. So you'll just need some paper to write on today. We're going to be going through some questions together. Now, the last video I did, I gave you lots and lots of strategies. Today, I'm going to be less structured, so you've got to try and use your own knowledge to answer these questions. Okay, so we're looking at hundreds, tens, and ones. So your first question is, what numbers are represented here? So for A, you have got some base 10. So count up the base 10 and write down your answer. Once you've done that one, have a go at B. You might have to pause the video here and write down your answers. Shouldn't take you too long for this one. Okay, and following on, that's C. So have a look at C. What number is being represented by base 10 there? Make sure you pause the video on each slide so that you can actually work out the task. Once I've spoken, I will stop for a few seconds so you've got a chance to pause it before I move on to the next page. You can always just pause and go back if you need to, if you miss something. Okay, question 2. How many sweets are there here? So I've got hundreds, tens, and ones. There are how many sweets? Again, pause the video, count up those sweets, and write your answer down. Question 3. Write each number in numerals. So you have got 4 numbers there which have been written in words. Your task is to write them in numerals, so in digits, in numbers. So how do I write the first one as a number? So I'll read the first one with you, but for the rest of them, I'll let you have a go. So the first one for A is 469. So how will I write 469 in numbers, in numerals? Pause the video here so you can write down your first 4 answers for that one before we move on. Okay, question 4 then. So what numbers are represented here? So in A, how many hundreds, how many tens, and how many ones? Then write your number on your sheet. Make sure you've got the right amount of digits. Pause again so that you can have a go at both A and B. So how many hundreds, how many tens, and how many ones? Okay, same thing. So you're writing down what number is being represented. Think carefully about this. You've got hundreds, tens, and ones. How will you write that down as a number in numerals? Okay, question 5. Complete the sentences. A. 348 is equal to 300s. How many tens and how many ones? 673 is equal to how many hundreds, how many tens, and how many ones? For your answer, I should see you writing a number with the word hundreds after it, then another number with the word tens after it, and then a number with the word ones after it. So I should see you writing a sentence similar to what you can see on the screen now. 792 is equal to how many hundreds? 9 what and 2 what? 308 is equal to 3 what and 8 what? E. Something is equal to 7 hundreds, 5 tens, and 1 one. And something is equal to 8 hundreds and 2 ones. So how would I write those last two as the whole number that those digits add up to? Okay. Pause the video so you've got some time to answer this, and there's quite a lot to do on this one. So do pause the video here. Question number 6. Complete the number sentences. 432 equals 400 plus 30 plus something. 435 equals 400 plus something, and 437 equals something, add something, add something. So what numbers could you write in those boxes? Same again for our next one. So you've got 520 equals 500 plus something, and 502 equals 500 plus something. Pause the video so that you can have a go at this one before I move on. Teddy's making numbers using 10 counters. So that's really important, so you need to remember how many counters he's using. So you might want to draw a place value chart. Now you don't have to write the full words of 100, tens and ones. Like we do in class, you could just draw your chart and write HTO, a bit quicker. Draw 10 counters on the place value chart to show that Teddy can make the number 217. So can you use your 10 counters to make that number? That's your first one. Now, you need to write down 2 more numbers that Teddy can make. So again, you might want to draw some more place value charts, so you'll need 2. Remember, you are only using 10 counters. So in your first one, spread your 10 counters out, what number can you make? And then your next one, spread your 10 counters out, what number can you make? There's loads and loads of answers to this one. So don't panic, it is quite a simple one. Don't think it's too easy. Lots of answers for that one. Now, what is the biggest number that Teddy can make? So if he moved all of those counters again, what's the highest number that he could make? Pause here, so you can have a go at drawing your hundreds, tens and ones, your place value chart, and answer those questions. Question 8. What is the value of the 3 in each number? So for your answer, I expect to see either 3 hundreds, 3 tens, or 3 ones. It's important that you've got that word at the end and that we're not writing the number. So it would be 3 hundreds, 3 tens, 3 ones. Next question then. Number 9. Now, I've got to do a little bit more explaining this time. So doing some reasoning. So Whitney is thinking of a number. She says, my number has 5 hundreds, 3 ones and 8 tens. The number Whitney is thinking of is 538. Is this true or false? Explain how you know. So look at what Whitney's saying. Look at the number that she's thinking of. Is it true? Is that correct? Or is it wrong and it's false? Then you need to explain how you know. So what has she done wrong is the first thing you need to write. If you've done what has she done wrong, then you need to do what should she have done. So what is the right answer? What number is she thinking of? So there's 2 parts to that one. So what has she done wrong? What should she have done? Okay, next question then. So make sure you pause that one. She'll do a little bit of writing. It'll take a little while. Number 10. Mo has 3 digit cards. He's got a 1, a 4 and a 9. He makes a 3-digit number. His number has 9 tens. So both of those numbers have to have 9 tens. So what numbers could Mo have made? So use those digit cards. It has to be those 3 digits. And you have to have 9 tens. So what 2 numbers could he have made? Part B to that question. So Aisha has some different digit cards as well. She's got 3, 0 and 4. Aisha makes a 3-digit number. Write all the numbers that Aisha could make. Now, there's lots of different answers you can get for this one, but be warned, it is a 3-digit number. A 3-digit number doesn't count if you put 0 as the first digit. So you can't have 0, 3, 4. Doesn't work. So make sure that 0 isn't the first digit you use. Number 11. Danny uses counters to make this number. What number has Danny made? Count the counters and write down your answer. Danny moves 2 of the counters. So he just moves 2 of those counters. So which of these numbers can she make? Circle your answer. If we go back and have a look, if she moves 2 of those counters to a different column, which of these numbers could she possibly make? So you've got either 233, 613, 800, 215 or 224. So there's more than one answer for this one. Have a go. Okay, question 12. This is our last question. So Ron is thinking of a number. He says, my number has an even number of tens. There are 2 more hundreds than there are ones. One of the digits is a 6. So the number in my hundreds column has to be 2 more than the number in my ones column. So the digit in my hundreds is 2 more than the digit in my ones. So circle the numbers that Ron could be thinking of. Now again, there's more than one answer for this one, so don't just write down one. So which ones, which 2 even, would it be? There's more than one there. So you might want to work it out, have a look at those numbers, see which one has 100, which is 2 more than the ones, and which one also has a 6 in it. Some of those you could cross out straight away because they don't have the 6. And you need to think carefully about the other ones. Okay, so now it's time for some answers then. So please don't go any further if you haven't actually finished the maths questions. Pause, go back, have a good go at the questions because they're all nothing that we haven't done before. You should be able to have a go at all those questions. Okay, so question number 1. So answers should be 345, 518, 203. Question number 2 should be 529 sweets. 3 should be 469, 337, 950, 803. Question 4, 734, 392, 210, and 72. Question 5, so this is how it should be written down on your sheet or in your book or whatever you're writing on. So 300s, 4 tens and 8 ones, 600s, 7 tens and 3 ones, 700s and 8 ones, and the 2 numbers should be 751 and 802. Now if you've partitioned these properly, for question 6 you should have 432, 430 add 5, 430 add 7. And you should have had 520 and 502. Now that wants to catch you out because a lot of people, similarly with writing the 802, when we have something like that, they forget to put their 0 as a placeholder. So for this one, you might have just written 82. And actually it's 802. For your 800s, you've got no 10s, you've got 2 ones. So you need to make sure that the placeholder of the 0 is there. Otherwise, the answer would be wrong. Question 7. So you should have put 2 counters in the hundreds, 1 in the tens, and the rest in the ones. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's his 10 counters used. So for the next question, you could have made any number as long as you've used 10 counters. So for me, I put 6 into my hundreds column, I put 2 counters in my tens and 2 in the ones, so I made 622. If I add that all up, it equals 10. I also did 3 in the hundreds, 5 in the tens and 2 in the ones. So again, if I add all that up, it equals 10. There's lots of different answers for that one. So long as you have used 10 counters, you are right. You can't have all 10 in the same column though. If you remember, if we get 10 in the same column, that's when we have to exchange. So if I'd put 10 counters in the ones, it's actually a 10. So then it would just be the same as 1 in the tens column. If I'd put 10 counters in the tens column, it would be the same as 100. So that's not right. I would have put 1 in the hundreds column. And if I've put all 10 in the hundreds column, which some people might have done for this last question, but I can't have 10 hundreds. We don't say 10 hundreds, we say 1,000. So my biggest number that I can make is 910. So you can put 9 counters in the hundreds column. You can put 1 in the tens column, so you have 910. The biggest number you could make, not 1,000, if you don't have that column. So question 8, you've got 3 tens, 3 hundreds, 3 ones, and 3 hundreds again. So what she had done wrong, it was false. She'd mixed up her tens and ones. So she said the 3 in the tens columns rather than in the ones, and the 8 in the ones rather than the tens. So the number she's thinking of is 583, not 538. So your two answers you could have chosen are 194 or 491. They're the two options because the 9 had to be in the tens column. So they're the two options you should have written down. For the next one, your options, as we said, you couldn't put the 0 in the first column, so you can't have 0, 3, 4 or 0, 4, 3. They would be wrong. So your answers are 304, 340, 403, 430. Question 11, your answer is 413, and the next answers are 233, 215, 224. And finally, the two that you could have. Now, you've got 462. It has a 6 in that number, and 4 is 2 more than 2. So there are 4 in the hundreds column. So the digit is 2 higher than the 2. Or the next one, it has a 6 in the question. So that's already in the answer even. So that's already right. And 6 is 2 more than 4, which is in the ones column. There we go. Thank you for having a go at this maths lesson today. There will be 2 more maths lessons this week, 3 in total, for you to have a go at. We will be sticking with hundreds, tens and ones and some place value for the next couple of weeks and revisiting some learning to refresh your memory, and we'll build up something a little bit trickier as we go along. Thank you. Bye.